Good afternoon from Berlin Hohenschönhausen. My name is Eugen and I love to travel, and I'm today in Hohenschönhausen. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, and this is one of the poorest areas of Berlin according to statistics. But yeah, well, I don't see that much poverty so far. Well, I'm near M5 tram station and I just got off here near to what you can call a shopping mall, which has two discount supermarkets and some hardware stores, basically. It's the area. And across the road there are some pretty well maintained houses, but I can see where the idea comes from, because if you go straight that way, you're gonna see some run-down houses, some boarded-up buildings and shit. So yeah, but the neighborhood is pretty well maintained, and I even have public toilets, brand new. Some refurbished comic blocks on the left, as you can see, and some neighborhood bistro. See the prices, how much it is. Oh, pretty expensive. €6 for a cheeseburger? What the hell? And yeah, from here, yeah, you can see that it's really not that well maintained. And you have this building which is really boarded up on the left, almost on all sides. But they're trying hard. Look, the buildings on the right, they're all brand new and refurbished. But this is what you can find. This is like the closest thing you can find in Berlin to, let's say, a rundown neighborhood. The city of Berlin, even though it has a few theoretically dodgy areas, is not run down, and there are no slums, according to my knowledge. So you can cross here. And we managed it. Safe, also. So, Hohenschönhausen looks like. And pretty nice. There's a very nice aesthetic, like a blend between the older buildings, which are kind of preserved. For example, that one over there is pretty well maintained, and the comic blocks, which are being refurbished and recladded. But you can see over there, there's some abandoned buildings, like loads of them. Loads of abandoned buildings, which probably they were sometime in construction, but the construction was abandoned for lack of resources, or I don't know, a misunderstanding between the developer and the city council. But yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 huge abandoned buildings, 4 or 5 stories high, and yeah. I wonder if they're full of squatters, basically. I'm pretty sure they are. And yeah, you can see we're like almost, well, not at the outskirts of Berlin, but almost there. There's some busy crossroads. These areas definitely were built during the communist times, because the streets are wide. There's no old town vibe here whatsoever, and the city is planned here. So you see residential areas in the form of comic blocks, wide streets, and a lot of tram lines for public transportation, because the communists were like big on public transportation for some reason. Well, it is cheap and more effective. You can move more people faster, basically. Yeah. to work, of course. Yeah. Let's cross over here in that direction because it looks more interesting. I see. We have here a nice mixture between the abandoned, the sort of new, which you see in the distance over there, the old, there's an old, very well preserved house in that direction, and the common blocks that were refurbished. These are probably like 1970s built originally. Yeah. And of course the usual space for parking. This was actually designed during communist times. The space for parking in front of the common blocks. So yeah, communism was not only for public transportation, but there were also a lot of cars, let's say, local built, of course. Yeah, so Hohenschönhausen is basically better than I expected. And yeah, even though the eastern part of Berlin is quite poor, it looks decent anyhow. So yeah, subscribe to the channel if you really enjoy the content. Click the notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I'm posting something new. And you know the drill. So far so good. So what? Bye bye.